Hello everybody, welcome to a short review of the new version of Comodo. That's 5.10. It was released just a few while after I did the review of 5.9. So it's basically security-wise the same as the 5.9 version as I found out. And I don't think it should be a big difference in our test. So I just decided to do a short review. As you know, Comodo, any version will basically use the same signatures. So there's no point of doing a file scan. So all I've got is a few links of malware, and we're going to test it and see how the Defense Plus and the zero-day components respond. Now let me just show you that the new version, 5.10.22, that's the new version. And the settings and all of that is basically the same as 5.9. Of course, for a more detailed review, you can go to the 5.9 review and watch it. By default, you've got Defense Plus as usual in safe mode, and this option is highly not recommended. It's if you allow or block requests by default, you need to answer some alerts, so this option should not be turned on. I've heard many users have some problems with Defense, and what they do is they just take this option. It's certainly not recommended. But you can do that if you're really a new user and you can't, handle any alerts at all. But I think there's no point of turning that off because that's, I think, the best part of the program. And they've got their usual execution control, and they've got sandbox. And these are the basic monitoring settings. Now, it's all basically the same as, oops. Did I turn anything on or off? Let's just make sure that everything's in default, because it kind of asked me to restart. I don't know why. Yeah, everything's in fine. So, I mean, in Firewall Settings, then you can see it's all in default, safe mode, but by default the firewall says that it won't show pop-up alerts and it will allow requests. Now, I'm going to leave everything at default. I'm not going to mess with that, although I would, if I would use it on my own machine, I'd turn that off. But anyway, so let me just show you, or let's just basically update it, because I don't think I've done that. Okay, it's up to date. So the user interface is basically the same. Now your preferences are always nice. I'm going to disable Message Center because I don't need that. And one thing that's really nice with Comodo is that they allow you to change your skins. Kind of looks better. Sometimes you just get used to the old skin and you want it changed. That's one thing that Comodo's got. Of course, they had it in their last version, so it's nothing new. And everything's just in stock. So let's get started with the link test. Before that, I'd like to check out their memory usage, but first let me launch Process Explorer. Okay, so here we can see that Comodo right now see it's using about 17 megs, which is basically around where you'd find it most of the time. Most of the time it's there around 17, 15, 10, something like that in megs. So it's not heavy at all. I mean, it's pretty good in terms of memory usage as the last version. So we'll get started with our link test. If you've noticed, as you can see, I've upgraded my virtual machine, and now we're running Windows 7. So hope it looks better to you guys. Okay, that's the first link, and okay, I think it's going to try to drop a file in the background. I think it's a backdoor. Right now I don't see anything happening, nothing's running in background, and Comodo just didn't tell me anything. So I guess we'll just try the next one. Okay, run this. Okay, so that one kind of just ran, and it was isolated by Comodo in Sandbox. Okay, now it could not be recognized, and it requests unlimited access. So this is the Defense Plus alert. Now, it says that it's not digitally signed and it should not be trusted, and if you don't know what you want to do, then you should hit the Sandbox button. So I'm going to do what they tell me to do. Send that Sandbox. So it's running in memory, but it's been sandboxed. Okay. So whatever that did, now let's try next one. Okay, maybe it was blocked from doing something that it wanted to, but I'm not sure. Okay, run this. Okay, run this one as well. Right now we've just got this barcode.exe in memory, and it was kind of sandboxed, I guess. Okay, so that one was isolated by Comodo. That's put in their sandbox. And it's opened up some kind of web page, and now it's exactly some document. I don't know what it wants to do, but okay, so finally something from the AV. So now this is not annoying, it just comes once when it first detects something malicious. If you hit this do not ask me again, then it won't bother you again and again, so it's nothing to be worried about. So you can I'll clean it myself. And as you can see, it's been quarantined by the AV. Okay, that one's not working. Right now we've got this search indexer. This barcode's still running around. Guess basically that's it. Nothing really doing much. Okay, this one was sandboxed also. All of these is zero-day malware, so they probably haven't got a lot of signatures for these. So, but that's acceptable because these are all zero-day. Okay, this one was got by signatures and has been quarantined. Okay, that one's down. Okay, this one was sandboxed as well. Okay, so it's kind of stuck on the screen, but we'll see what it does. Okay, so this one's running around in the background. Okay, this one was quarantined by its signatures. Okay, looks like I've got the same one twice, haven't I? Yeah, I've got the same one twice. So anyway, we'll just run that. Okay, again, it pops up, but it's sandboxed, I guess. Okay, so that setup strength run something. And another Defense Plus alert, it tells me that it's not, okay, has digitally signed, but hasn't been whitelisted by Comodo. So, I mean, this is a different kind of an alert. So, I mean, this is basically digitally signed. So, it says that if you're installing or updating an application, you can press the Allow button. Okay, it says if you trust. So I guess I'll just be hitting sandbox, but I don't think they should exactly give this kind of an alert because it's confusing. Now they say it's digitally signed, so maybe I should hit the Allow anyway, but then again they say it's not whitelisted, and if you trust, only then you should hit it, so I'll just hit sandbox as I always do. Okay, so that one was got by the signatures, and this is probably some kind of adware just wants to unite it, my home page and stuff like that. I'll just let it do whatever it wants. And it's kind of stuck on screen as well. There you go. You can move it around, so this is definitely a piece of malware or adware, whatever. Because as you can see, it doesn't go away from the screen. You can't move it or anything, or you can minimize that. Okay, there you go. So Comodo has found some file and it wants to restart in order to remove it. I'm not going to restart. I'm just going to try the next link and then restart. Okay, there you go. It's kind of stuck. Okay. So I'll just try the last link. Okay. Okay, it's trying to start again and again, so it's kind of malware behavior. As you can see, computer is kind of slowing down. So I'll try the last link and then I'm going to restart. Okay, so this one doesn't work. So anyway, I'm just, okay, so this is some kind of banker, I guess, yeah. You're supposed to, yeah, it's some kind of banker, most probably. And what I'll do right now is I'll just restart the computer and I'll be back when that's done. Okay, so the system just restarted and I want to see if anything's actually still running around in the background. Let's just see if Comodo booted up properly. Okay, it's still being initialized. It's kind of slowed down. So I suspect maybe some stuff is running in memory. So we'll just find that out by starting Process Explorer. Okay, so let's see if anything suspicious is running around. Not exactly. I don't see anything really that suspicious. Nothing at all, in fact. So looks like nothing is exactly in memory right now, but the system does seem slow down a bit, and maybe they've already done some damage to registry and stuff. I don't know, but we'll see. So I'll just run Ccleaner now and clean up the temporary files, and then I guess I'll do a scan with Hitman Pro, because Comodo isn't telling me to do anything. It asked me to restart, and I did the restart, so it's pretty happy right now, just telling I haven't done a full scan. So I'll just run Hitman Pro. So I'll be back with results from Hitman Pro. Well, as you can see, Hitman Pro didn't find anything, so I guess I'll do a scan with Malwarebytes, and I'll be back when that's done. As you can see, Malwarebytes just finished scanning, and it hasn't found anything at all. So what I did was I just uploaded the three desktop files that I can very clearly see that were created during this test. And I don't know if they're actually infected, or some part of it was infected and that was blocked by Comodo, and maybe these are just harmless files that basically don't do much of anything. But so what I did was I just sent them to Firestore, and as you can see, this one came out as clean, and this one's exactly just got 3 out of 43. It's really low detection rate. And if we see that the engines that have got it, like it's basically just detected by McAfee, and I know McAfee do give a lot of false positives, and it's just a GM or Jagman. Actually, I'm hearing this name of this AV for the first time. I've never heard of it. And as far as the other AVs are concerned, I mean, F-Secure hasn't got it. Comodo doesn't get it, of course, and Dr. Web's missing it. So is MSoft, and VATS doesn't have it at all. And Bitdefender also misses it. And nearly every other AV has missed it. I mean, every other AV has. I mean, Panda, they've got good signatures, but they've did not detect this. So basically, what I think is just false positive. So I don't know whether it's rated as virus, because it's just detected by 3 engines, and most of the prominent engines like MSoft and Panda, who really have good detection rates, and Dr. Web also have missed it. So I don't think it's exactly a piece of malware. Maybe some of it was malware, and while it was installing, maybe it got sandboxed, or maybe it's already quarantined by Comodo. And this is just some other file that came along with it, which is not exactly malicious. And the third one also came out as clean. So basically, Comodo did a pretty good job. In fact, it did an excellent job. Nothing has gone through. Of course, I mean, some of the files did run, might have modified 1 or 2 registry keys. We saw a lot of things running around. But as you can see, not my scanners that can detect it, none of my scanners. And even Firestore didn't say that these were malware. So basically, Comodo did a really good job. And instead of ending this review right here and saying that Comodo is a great security suite, I'd just for once like to actually consider the really big weaknesses of Comodo. Now, yes, it's a really good security suite, highly recommended, but it does have weaknesses just like other AVs, and I'm going to tell you one big weakness that it has. As far as I've seen, all the professional AVs that are, like for example, Kaspersky, Norton, everybody, Bitdefender, nearly everybody has a URL filter. Now, Comodo have not integrated that. I don't know whether they actually think that it's unnecessary, or maybe just they couldn't do that. Because a URL filter is really necessary because it checks the URLs. Now, Comodo obviously scans all your executable or any kind of files, and for exploits, any kind of viruses it detects. But basically, it has nothing for fake websites or phishing websites or something of that sort. And they're also malicious. Now, all Comodo does is finds malicious files. Now, what if you try to do some kind of net banking and stuff like that, and something malicious comes up, and it actually prompts you to give away your passwords and stuff. And there are a lot of phishing websites out there that are really a threat, and I think Comodo should integrate some kind of URL filter to filter phishing and fake websites. Because many times I've seen links in Barstool that've got about 20-30 detection rates because they're phishing or other kind of malicious websites. Comodo just doesn't do anything about it. Why? Because they just don't drop any files. But I mean, still they're pretty dangerous, so I think they need to integrate some kind of URL blocking, maybe into Internet Explorer or maybe just into their application. So that's something that I would really like Comodo to come up with, because that's important. Now, if they, because remember, Comodo Internet Security is a free product. It isn't a paid one. So even if they feel that, they don't want to integrate it in their free product or it's not affordable for them, so at least, in their Pro version, I think they should integrate that. Because if you want to use Comodo, I would basically recommend you should also use some kind of URL filter, because it doesn't do anything for phishing websites or anything like that. It just protects you from the files. So that's a big weakness as far as Comodo is concerned. Of course, it's a pretty good security suite otherwise. And another thing, which isn't exactly a weakness or anything like that, it's just something that I don't like, is that it always reminds you to perform a full scan all the time. Now, basically, a full scan can be really lengthy, and for someone who has a hard disk of, let's say, 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes, it would take a really, really long time to scan all the files, so much information, and let's say, suppose he has something like a Core 2 Duo or some kind of processor. And it'll basically take him about 6 to 8 hours, I think, to do a full scan, because Comodo scanner is moderate. It isn't very fast. It isn't too slow either, but it isn't that fast. So it'll take him about 8 hours or 6 hours, something like that, which is really long time. And there's no reason to spend so much time scanning files that are always there on your system. Every 30 days, maybe they should recommend to do this. They should recommend some kind of their critical scan. Maybe they should recommend the smart scan. But a full scan, certainly, it's not reasonable to say that every 30 days you need a full scan. It's not correct. You don't need a full scan every 30 days. Now, some of your hard local drives, they're not in use. Maybe you store lots of files. You don't need to scan them all the time. Once you scan them, they're clean, you can have them for a long time. And unless you've gone through some infections or stuff, I don't think there's any need to scan them. But of course, this isn't a problem. It's just, at the yellow light, some people don't like it. So basically, you can just ignore it. But I'd like them to, make this detect only smart scans and stuff like that, not a full scan. So that's just for my opinion. There's nothing to be really bothered about it. In fact, you can just ignore it. But that's some users don't like that. So that's all I want to say. And as far as the new version is concerned, it's doing pretty well, and I hope they keep improving. So that's up for this preview. Have a nice day.